Hey everybody, it is Erica again, and this is Batty Chatty. We are doing live feed today about original movies versus remake horror movies. We wanted to get your opinions. What's your favorite remakes? What's your most hated remakes? What are some that you think are as good as the original, if not better? We're just talking all about originals and remakes today. So, hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you guys are all doing really good. I just recently got a brand new computer, so it's working really, really well. Hey, George. Hey, Christine. Christian. Sorry, my glasses are... I need a new prescription. My glasses aren't working very well anymore. Hey, Heidi. Let's see here. Thank you. Hey everybody. Hey Lizette. Yeah, so let's see here. And what are some of... Hey Kristen. Let's see here. Probably an unpopular opinion, but I think the remake of Carrie was actually good. I mean, not spectacular, but good. Julianne Moore is amazing. Tasha, I agree with you. I think Julianne Moore killed that role. Was she better than Piper Laurie in the original? Hard to say, but because I love Piper Laurie, but I think she did kill that role. My favorite is the 76, but I liked that version. In fact, I really, really like the 2002 version with Angela Betts. I think I said her last name right. If I didn't, forgive me. It was made for TV, but it is actually a great version of Carrie. The new Child's Play, thoughts. Ooh, it's funny that you asked me about that because I'm watching Batty Chatty right now. I'm gonna watch the new Child's Play, but I'm probably not going to go to the theaters to see it. And I hope it does well. I'm not having very high hopes because Brad's not voicing the doll. Plus, the doll isn't even going to be named Chucky anymore. It's going to be Buddy. I don't know. I think they should have just gone with a completely different doll movie and not tried to ride on Child's Play coattails. It's here. No one will ever be better than Carrie. Will ever be a better Carrie than Sissy Spacek. I happen to agree with you, George. Sissy is Carrie for me. See here. Classic was the best. I'm gonna watch it too, but my hopes are not that high either. Don't know those details. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch it, but like I said, I'm gonna go in with really low expectations and hope that it's better. Your name is Chuck. Yes, it is, isn't it, Chuck? You like Aubrey Plaza, but no, you're boycotting it. I really like Aubrey Plaza, and that's part of the reason why I'm going to be watching it. But yeah, it's, what do you do? The Blob, 1988, in your opinion, surpasses the 1958 original by far. I happen to agree with you. I love the 88 Blob. The Blob was one of my very favorites when I was a young kid, and it creeped me out, and yeah, I agree with you there. Hey Brian, let's see here. What are some other really good remakes? Night of the Living Dead remake from 1990, in your opinion, is miles better than the original? I like that one better too. I do love the original as well, but I do like that one better. In fact, people will probably crucify me for saying this, but I like the Dawn of the Dead remake better as well. Nightmare on Elm Street, 84 or 210. That's an easy one. 1984 always for me. I didn't hate the 2010. But it's not Robert, and two, it felt rushed to me, and it needed a better script. Evil Dead remake or original? Oh, do you have to go there, George? Remake for me. Even though I love Evil Dead, I love the remake. The Crazies remake was better than the original. I agree with you, Farron. I agree with you. I love the remake of the Crazies. It's amazing. John Carpenter remade 3 classics. The Thing is his masterpiece. I agree. I agree with that. Absolutely. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I absolutely love that remake. 13 Ghosts. I love that one too. I'm trying not to miss any comments here. If I miss any comments, I'm sorry. The new Pet Cemetery. I am looking forward to the new Pet Cemetery, Mark. It looks really great. Is it going to be different? Yes. But are those differences going to bother me? They're not going to bother me. I know some people are maybe not too keen on them, but I'm totally okay with that. I think the Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds was good. I liked that remake. I thought it was good. Let's see here. Yes, 1984 Nightmare on Elm Street all the way is correct. I feel like the remake of It was good, but I feel they cut way too much. Well, the thing is it's not done. You still have a whole second part. So it isn't finished. You know, people that have seen the 1990 version, that's a complete work, but the 2017 wasn't complete. It won't be complete until this year when the second part comes out. Hey, Justine. Dead Alive, Brain Dead. I love it, and its cheesiness, especially the last 30 minutes. What's your opinion on that movie? I have not seen Dead Alive. I need to see it. I've not seen it. There are a few movies, and some of them are quite classic ones, and I've not seen them. I've not seen Dead Alive. I've not seen Phantasm. I've seen part of Phantasm. I hadn't seen any of it before, and I have seen part of it now, but I haven't seen it completely. Yeah, there are a few movies I have not seen. Nope, original Evil Dead all the way. Yeah, I know. Most people say that. And I do love that version. I really like the new one. At least I'm glad that they haven't remade Evil Dead 2, because that one was already a better one of the original trilogy. I actually really, really love Army of Darkness for some reason. I love that one. I don't know if it just appeals to the whole medieval thing, because I kind of really like that, but I really love that. What do you think should be remade that was never remade? I would really like a new Motel Hell. I would think a Rob Zombie Motel Hell would be really good. And I know there's a lot of people that don't like Rob Zombie films, but I think that he could do that one really, really well. I think it would be really good. Let's see here. Carpenter also remade Invisible Man and Village of the Damned. I didn't see his Invisible Man, but I really liked The Village of the Damned. What do I think of the 2001 remake of 13 Ghosts? I really like 13 Ghosts. I've not seen the original 13 Ghosts, but I really, really love the 2001. Love Village of the Damned. Yeah, I do too. Worst remake, Poltergeist. Poltergeist probably is really up there in the worst remakes, and I don't know what the problem was, because they had great actors, they had great source material, but none of the actors had any chemistry with each other. You just didn't care about any of them, and they just didn't pull it off. It just didn't work for some reason. I don't know why, because I love all those actors, and I love the original Poltergeist. But yeah, you think people are too hard on remakes? Given them a chance, many will crucify them before they even come out. I agree with you, Troy. I always try to give remakes a chance, because if I don't like them, it doesn't matter. I can never watch them again and just stick to the originals and pretend they don't exist. So I don't get annoyed or offended when people remake movies. I just figure, oh, there's another version out there. If I like it, great. If I don't, I'll forget it. As a Halloween fan, Erica, don't you think Rob Zombie's remake was good, but his part 2 sucked? Yes, I do agree with that. I agree with that, George. I liked his remake of Halloween, but the second part, while there were some good things about it, there were so many bad things or just kind of things that just didn't make sense, that it didn't make it for me. Same here. Can't wait. The whole aesthetic looks great. Let's see here. Are you looking forward to the Child's Play remake? I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing. But I'm going in with low expectations. One thing people don't get about remakes is the copyrights run out if they don't do a remake, so they have to remake them a lot of the times. Oh, really? I didn't know that, Matt. Wow. I had no idea. What's your opinion on the new Child's Play trailer? Made me curious. It made me curious. Spin-off of Freddy vs. Jason. I really liked Freddy vs. Jason. I thought it was a really fun one. I wouldn't mind another. Yeah, I thought it was a fun one. New It Part 1. I know many didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. I loved the original one. And Tim Curry as Pennywise was really magnificent, but I really liked the whole atmosphere and the new style of it. I agree with you. Heidi. I actually, even though it's not complete, I actually liked the 2017 more than the original. Couldn't get into the original It after I watched the newer one. The 1990 is dated. It is. It has not aged as well as it should have, and there are some hokey parts. Tim Curry was amazing, and so were the kids. But, I had... The adults were a bit hokey, and there was some hokey scenes in it. It's great, but I really liked the newer one. What's your thoughts on the new Hellboy? Do I think it'll be good? I'm gonna watch it. I am gonna watch it. I'm gonna miss Ron being Hellboy, though. I mean, without his voice and stuff, it's just not gonna be the same. But I hope it's gonna be good. I don't, yeah. We watch Fantastic. I know, but I missed part of it, Brian. So I still don't say it isn't totally complete. I missed a good 20 minutes of it. Good chatting for a few minutes. Gotta go. Have a good rest of the day, everyone. Keep it creepy. See you, Mark. Thank you. Do I think they should remake Scanners? I wouldn't mind seeing a new Scanners. I'd be okay with that. Been waiting for 3 from Hell. Any ideas how they survived the end of Devil's Rejects? I cannot wait for 3 from Hell. That is my most anticipated film. I have been wanting that film forever. I am thinking, I mean, if he doesn't go supernatural with it, because he could go supernatural and say they died, and being that they're the devil's rejects, that the devil didn't want them, so he sent them back. If he doesn't go that way, then they could just have survived all the shootings. Hope they make a second part of Evil Dead. Like, I wouldn't mind that. I did not know they was what was a remake, TJ. You know my answer. John Carpenter's Halloween is Rob. My very favorite Halloween is the 78. I love that one. I do really like the brand new one. It's not a remake, it's just a sequel, but I do love John Carpenter's better than Rob Zombie's. Think they will be a Christine remake? I don't know. I would be really interested in seeing something like that, though. I really love Christine. I don't think it needs to be remade. I think it stands up pretty good. Even though it was made quite a long time ago, I still think it stands up fairly well. But a new version would be good. I mean, I just like to see, like, not every movie needs to be remade, of course, but I do like to see updated versions because they're more relative to times have changed so much. Like, I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, nobody had cell phones. And you try to have a young person watch a movie where nobody has cell phones and nobody can get a hold of people and stuff. They're like, where's their... they can't relate to it. And so sometimes I think some of these movies need to be remade so that the younger people can relate to them and like them. Let's see here. Halloween. I love Rob Zombies, but I also love the original. I love them both too, Jamie. I really do. I do love Carpenter's better, but you know, there's a lot of nostalgia for me with that. I wish there could be a Christine remake. Worst remake for you is Psycho. Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates is the worst casting choice ever. Wayne, you know, I didn't mind the Psycho remake. It was a shot-for-shot remake, and that can be problematic in itself, because when you don't change anything at all, then all you're doing is comparing every single scene. And because Anthony Perkins was so Norman, I mean, Anthony Perkins is Norman Bates for me. So, you know, when you cast Vince Vaughn, which I think he did as good a job as he could. I mean, I think he really tried. But, you know, things are going to fall a little short. So, I think they did the best that they could. You know what really bothered me the most about that remake is that the house wasn't the real house. I mean, it wasn't the house. And I was just like, well, that's not Norman's house. And so that bothered me the most about that. What are my thoughts on the new Candyman reboot? Oh. Tony Todd is Candyman for me, and I will, just like the Child's Play remake, or reboot, or whatever you want to call him, I will give it a shot, but I'm gonna be expecting to see Tony Todd, you know what I mean? What do I think of the Hills Have Eyes remake? I think it's better than the original. I think you're right, Wes. That's one of my very favorite remakes. The Hills Have Eyes remake was also a shot-for-shot remake, basically. And it was so great, I thought. I thought it was amazing. And I loved that movie. Let's see here. What do I think about Friday the 13th, 2009? Oh. I've watched that movie a bunch of times. And although I like several of the actors in it, there were several of them that I didn't like. I did like a lot of the kills. Like, I loved that arrow going through that blonde kid's head on the boat. I thought that was awesome. But some of it just didn't resonate for me. It wasn't awful. I like it well enough to watch it several times, and if it's on, I won't turn it off. But I don't seek it out usually. As a fan, couldn't stand Rob Zombie H1 or 2. I like I said, I really don't care for the H2, but I did like the first one. Poltergeist remake sucked because the director wasn't a fan of the genre, and it makes a huge difference. Otherwise, it just becomes homework assignment and feels like it when you watch it. That may have been. Good evening, Darren. Which superhero do you think would make a great horror movie? I don't know. Most of them, I think. Most of them. I wouldn't mind seeing a horror version of everything. You know what I'd really like to see is horror movie versions of all of the Disney movies. I would love that. Fright Night remake. I have some strong opinions on the Fright Night remake, and they aren't bad ones. I liked the Fright Night remake. Did I like it better than the original? No, I did not. But I also think that they made it different enough that they should have ditched the Fright Night name altogether, changed the characters' names, and just made another vampire movie. Because it just wasn't... It obviously wasn't a shot-for-shot remake, of course, because they changed so much. But they should have just named it something else and just had it was just made a vampire movie. Because it was different enough that they could have done that and then not had everybody, because so many people love Fright Night so much that they were pissed that they remade it, you know. So those are my thoughts on the Fright Night remake. Do I like it? Yes, I do. I love all the actors in it. Love all of the actors in it. I think they did a great job. But I just think it shouldn't have had the Fright Night name. Let's see here. They did a pretty good job on the series Bates Motel. I think they did an excellent job on Bates Motel. I love Bates Motel. I think Freddie Highmore did excellent. Vera is always... I always butcher her last name, so I'm not even going to attempt it. Vera is always amazing in everything she does. I think it was great. Let's see here. Freddy versus Jason was good. I wish they would do Michael Myers versus Freddy or Jason. Instead of a versus movie, I'd like a team up movie, like where two villains team up and go on a killing spree. Like, I would love a Michael Myers and Sam from Trick or Treat team up on Halloween and just massacre everybody. That would be awesome. Yeah, I want some team up movies. I really like the Black Christmas remake. It doesn't get enough love. I agree with you, George. I think we talked about this before. And I really like the Black Christmas remake. And it doesn't get enough love. Hey, Drew. Penguins, what's up with that? You and your penguins. I don't have any penguins here. Let's see here. Dawn of the Dead remake was Dawn of the Dead remake was destroyed. The original is the best zombie movie ever. Zombies don't run. I love the Dawn of the Dead remake. There are people, there are schools of thought, fast zombies, slow zombies. And I like both. I'll be in a mood for fast zombies, and then I'll be in a mood for slow zombies. So it just depends on my mood, what kind I choose. What about the Town That Dreaded Sundown remake? I have not seen that remake, Danny. I need to see that. The best remakes of all time: The Thing, The Fly, The Blob, The Ring, It. That's it. I love all those remakes, Justin. Oh, thank you. I love you too. Can't wait for the Soska Sisters remakes of David Cronenberg's Rabid. Oh, are they doing that, Brian? That's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. I love all their stuff, though. Also heard they want to do 10 more Halloween movies. To me, that's overkill. 10 more? 10 more? That's a bit, that's a bit ambitious. I'm down for one more. And heck, if they did 10 more, I'd probably watch all 10. But, I mean, I think that they could easily do one more and it'd still be really good. I think the remake of Maximum Overdrive could be good if well done. I think you're right, Tasha. I think so. Could they get a better soundtrack, though? I'm not sure. Getting that all ACD soundtrack would cost them so much money. I've learned with remakes that don't compare to the original and the new one too much. If you do, you'll probably end up being more disappointed. I almost take them as two separate movies, even though the story is the same. I agree with you, Heidi, and that's pretty much what I try to do. I mean, when I go into it, I'm trying to watch it as a standalone single movie, and then after they're done, then I try to make my comparison. It's like, well, which one did I like better, or that kind of thing. A lot of remakes are good if you take it for what they are, remakes. I don't think remakes have to be the same shot for shot, word for word, like Psycho remake in the late 1990s. Oh, I agree, Doug. I think that I think if they're not shot for shot, they're better. It's better if they switch them up. Like, there's a lot of people, like, I just watched Salem's Lot again, the original, yesterday. And I happen to be a big fan of the remake of Salem's Lot, the 2004 with Rob Lowe. And it was a made-for-TV miniseries kind of thing. And that's one of my very favorite movies and one of my very favorite remakes. And a lot of people either hate it or haven't seen it or whatever. And that's fine. But I love that movie. And it's the subtle little updated changes that made me love it. I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake from 2003. It's probably the only Jessica Biel performance that you like. Yeah, she doesn't have too many performances that I care for either. And that was probably the best one. The Thing wasn't a remake. It was a prequel to the original. Are you talking about the 2011 The Thing, Chris? Because that was a prequel. The 1982 is arguably a remake of the film from the 50s, but they changed so much of it that it's kind of not really a total remake. I want to see the remake of The Wicker Man. So many people hate that movie. I don't mind it. But I'm kind of a Nicolas Cage fan. I just can't help it. More of his stuff that he did 10, 20 years ago than the stuff he's doing now. But I didn't mind the remake of The Wicker Man. I thought it was all right. They've been playing it like mad on the movie channels, HBO and Showtime and Stars and stuff. I'm not sure which one, but they play it all the time, almost every day. And now you have to go to sleep soon since it's past midnight here in Finland. Well, thank you, Heidi. Thank you for joining. Good night. Nicholas. Okay, I'm going to say it. The 2016 Ghosters remake was a real stinker. Oh, Nicholas. I have to agree with you. I am not a big fan, and it's not because of the gender swap. Because I loved all those actors, and I just think, and the only thing I really liked about the 2016 Ghostbusters was all of the cameos from the original cast. I thought that those were fun. Other than that, I think their script was hokey. The storyline was weak. It just didn't make it for me. Let's see here. It has already been, let's see here, Not the Bees. Let's see here. Fright Night 1995 or the remake. 1985. I said 95, didn't I? 85. I'm going with the 85, but I do love the remake. But for different reasons. They did a remake of Wicker Man. Yes, they did. The only good remake is Night of the Living Dead. Only was done by Tom Savini. That was a good remake. You hated Friday the 13th remake. Psycho remake was an art piece. That's not my opinion. Gus Van Sant had said he was doing some artistic interpretation where he gave himself specific rules to follow, etc. Van Sant is not a horror director, but you mostly like his stuff. A Rawhead Rex remake. I would like that. I would like that. Not really remakes, but have to comment on the Wrong Turn franchise. You love 1 through 3. Would have been okay if they stopped there. Any thoughts? I loved 1 through 3, and I also love Part 5. I like Part 5 mainly because it has Doug Bradley in it, and I love Doug Bradley. So anything he's in, I tend to really like. But yeah, they could have completely done without number 4 in that Wrong Turn series. 4 just was practically unwatchable for me. And I haven't seen 6, and I hear they're doing more. I happened to be training in 29 Palms, California, when I purchased the DVD Hills Have Eyes. Exact same terrain as the movie. Kind of freaked you out while sleeping outside during training. That would totally freak me out, Doug. And yeah. The Omen from 1976, one of your favorite films of all time. You might get crucified for this, but the 2006 remake isn't all that bad. Wayne, that remake gets so much hate, and I really don't think it's that bad either. And The Omen from 76 is one of my favorite films too. You cannot really get better than that. And although the 2006 was a shot-for-shot remake, which makes it really difficult. That's when it makes it really difficult, was when it's super shot-for-shot, because you've got nothing new except, well, it wasn't like that before. I mean, it's like, well, that's just kind of off, because they're trying to be, when it's a mirrored movie, it can be off-putting. I didn't mind the Omen remake. If the two movies are in front of me, which one do I choose? I choose the 76. But I wouldn't put the other one in the trash. How's that? I've also heard they are doing a Hellraiser remake. Please no. They need to just stop with the Hellraisers. I love, like I just mentioned, I love Doug Bradley. If he isn't going to be Pinhead anymore, then just stop. Just stop. Because the last couple ones they made just weren't that great. And really, after the fourth one, they can be kind of cheesy and weird. And I mean, I really liked 1 through 4. And I really like 1, 2, and 4 the best. But 3's good. And all the other ones tend to kind of bleed together and mix up, and I can't really distinguish one from another, because usually when I watch them all in a row. So then which one was that? Oh, I forget. Which one is that? So I forget. But they need to just stop with those. Unless they make completely different other characters. And then why call it Hellraiser? Call it something else. Friday the 13th was just a couple of fans who wrote it. It was just reimagining of the Jason character and definitely not a remake. Blumhouse should leave Scream alone. Jason Blum wants to remake it. Yeah, I think that they should leave Scream alone. First off, it's not old enough to where it needs being remade. Like to update it type of thing. It's not outdated. So there's no reason to update it for that reason, and there's nothing wrong. I just, when I think of stuff being remade, I think, well, what's your reasoning for doing it? Are you updating some stuff? Are you making it more current? If none of that stuff needs to be done, then why do it? Unless you're making it better. But so many of the times they're not when they do that. You agree for Fright Night is one of your all-time favorite vamp flicks. Fright Night's a great movie. Oh yeah, Disney goes horror. Beauty and the Beast would be one big bloodbath. I agree. I am probably so far behind on comments, but I'm working. Tobe Hooper's remake of The Invaders from Mars was quite good. It had all the campy fun of the original 50s film, but with some cool monsters. I don't know if I've seen that. I need to check that out. Originally, Ash was meant to come at the end of Freddy vs. Jason, but it was scrapped. Yeah, I heard about that. Love Dawn of the Dead remake. Fast Zombies are much scarier. I find Fast Zombies scarier because slow zombies you can get away from, but fast zombies I find are scarier to me. The original 2000 Maniacs or the remake 2001 Maniacs. I've not seen both films, so I'd have to see them both. What do I think about World War Z? I didn't mind it. Dreaded Sundown is on Netflix. I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Joseph. You don't consider John Carpenter's The Thing a remake? A lot of people don't. Could be fun with remakes of The Warlock or remake of The Wishmaster. I wouldn't mind a Wishmaster remake. I think that would be fun. Warlock could be fun too. Yeah, no, I agree. They're remaking I Know What You Did Last Summer, made you upset. They won't use any of the original characters, Julie, Helen, Barry, or Ray. See, I think that's an unnecessary remake. Just like if they remade Urban Legend, that would be unnecessary as well. There's just not enough. There's not enough different stuff. It doesn't quite need to be updated. What about I know not a remake, but Independence Day? I don't think it needs a remake. Some remakes are good, but some should not be done. Sorry about the preview for Pet Sematary. I don't think the remake looks good. I think it looks good, but I mean, for me, I always wanted that little girl to die, and you know, it's clear in the trailer that they switch it up, and so I'm kind of excited about that. That's terrible. Salem's Lot is a horrible, scary movie. That's one of the movies you can't watch. It's nasty. The original or the remake, Owen? Because the the remake, Barlow doesn't look that like that scary weird thing. He's Rutger Hauer, and he just looks like Rutger Hauer with fangs. So he's not as scary, I guess. I think we can all agree that the worst remake ever is The Fog, 2005. I didn't mind that one, actually. They changed so much, and I didn't actually mind that one, but I know a ton of people hate it. What about Maniac Cop remake? Have they remade that? If they have, I haven't seen it. Did you like the Dracula remake? Which one? They've been remaking Dracula over and over and over. Reimagine. It's different adaptations of Dracula forever. I love all Dracula movies. I like the original Salem's Lot, but some thought the remake possibly get I love the remake of Salem's Lot. I could go for a remake of Thinner. I could see that. I did not see Mandy yet. No, I need to. Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake of 2011 was good. I haven't seen that version. The remake of It was good in your opinion. I love the new It. You know, I really enjoyed the Carrie remake. Also, everyone seemed to hate the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street. I just had to look at it kind of like something completely different. That's kind of what I try to look at all remakes, is that they're something totally different. Not a fan of Wes Craven's Last House on the Left, but really like the remake. I agree with you, Wayne. I actually couldn't stand the original Last House on the Left, but I liked the remake. There's a few movies like that for me, and like I really like The Ring, but I did not like the original source material. And you know, was it possibly the subtitles that took me out? It could possibly have been, but you know, let's see here. What do I think about the remake of American Werewolf in London? I didn't know that there was one. I like 1 through 5, good in the series. And your thoughts? Yeah, in the Wrong Turn series, I like them all except number 4. I would like a remake of Pumpkinhead. I would love a remake of Pumpkinhead. How about a remake of Toxic Avenger? I would like that too. I just would want practical effects. If they did Pumpkinhead with all CGI monster, it would take it out for me. If it was practical effects with some CGI enhancements, that would be fine. But yeah, I would love Pumpkinhead. Yeah, you would have stopped after 4 for Hellraiser. Me too. The Owen remake was pretty good, honestly, but gatekeepers gotta gatekeep. They should remake Children of the Night. I don't think I've seen that. What do I think of Lost Boys getting reboot as a TV series? Oh, I think it's a lot like I think it's going to be a lot like the Heathers reboot for a TV series. That I'll check one of them out and probably not bother with the rest. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I try to give everything a fair shot. But, you know, when it's something that you love so much, and, you know, I don't mind them changing some things, and a few gender swapping is fine, but when, yeah, I'm just not sure. Speaking of films that didn't need to be updated, that reminds me of The Mummy, 1999. Not exactly horror, but that film was already fantastic. Remake, Tom Cruise. I agree with you with that, Christian. The Tom Cruise movie was unnecessary, but they were going to try to do a whole series of that, you know, like all the Universal monster movies, and since it flopped so badly, you know, I don't think they're going to do that anymore. I hope Pet Sematary is a good remake, but but am not hopeful. I'm gonna go in with an open mind. That is one I am planning on seeing in the theaters. I don't go to the theaters that often, but, you know, I am planning on seeing that one in the theater. Did anyone mention Texas Chainsaw? Yes, and I love that remake. Hello, Jerry. The original plan for Hellraiser 3 was for Julia to come back instead of Pinhead, but Claire Higgins didn't want to do it. Really? Wow. I would have loved to see Julia again. Julia was one of my favorite characters. I really love Julia. I love to hate her. Pet Sematary looks awesome. Erica, here's one for you. Tim Curry as Pennywise or Bill Skarsgård. You love throwing me these, don't you, George? I love them both. Which one was scarier to me? Bill was scarier to me. Tim had his scary moments, but, you know, he just looked so much more like a birthday clown than a creepy clown. I mean, I think all clowns are creepy in their own way, but because he looked so much more like just a birthday clown, he just didn't seem as scary, whereas Bill just seemed scary from just the jump point. I don't know why. Unlike it, I don't know, Curry, scary guy all around, devil, clown, legend. I love Tim Curry. I love him in all his roles. I think by far my favorite is Darkness of his. He just killed it as Darkness. And even now, watching Legend, I'll get chills at my spine when he first comes on the screen and starts talking. I mean, it's just, there's very few actors that can do that, and he's one of them. Dracula Untold was awesomely wonderful. I love Dracula Untold. I thought that was a great movie, and I don't know why it bombed so badly, but it did. Phantasm deserves a reboot. I agree with you, Caleb. Rob Zombie's Halloween was world class. I really liked it. I'm still waiting for a sequel to Interview with a Vampire. Original cast, of course. Yeah, that would be great. Sleepaway Camp remake, yes or no? The original was already ahead of its time with that ending. That would be interesting. I would watch it. That would be interesting. I heard a sequel to the original I Spit on Your Grave. With the original director and star is coming out this year. Really? I think I heard a rumor about that too. And I have to say, I love the 2010 I Spit on Your Grave, the remake of the original. I absolutely love it. I think, now, was the original brutal? Yes. In fact, I think in some cases it was more brutal, but I just like the revenge so much more in the 2010. And it just didn't seem like she was, in the original, it seemed like she kept allowing herself to be used and demeaned to get her revenge. In the 2010, it was not like that at all. She was just a tough bitch, and she was killing these guys, which is what I want to see. As much as you love Christine, as much as I love Christine, I would actually watch it updated to modern times now. I would too. I would too. Did you know that there was a Children of the Corn remake from 2009 and was aired on the Sci-Fi Channel? Yes, I do. As an original movie. You've seen it and it sucked, and I'm a fan of the original movie. I agree with you, Wayne. I did not like that remake of the Children of the Corn. It lacked so much, and I'm a huge fan of the original. Children of the Night was a really good vampire flick in the 80s/90s. I need to see that, Dawn. I haven't seen it. Can't wait to see the second part of it, Chapter 2. I agree. Best vampire movie ever, Queen of the Damned. Hope they never ruin it with a remake. I doubt that they remake that. I doubt they'd remake that, Donna. And I really like that movie. That movie gets a lot of hate. It's really weird. I like that movie. Have you seen Zombies with Tony Todd in it? I have not, Dawn. Tim Curry in Legend is by far your favorite movie. Brandy, I agree. I love Legend, and that is one of my favorite movies. I love it. Speaking of clowns, a remake of Killer Clowns from Outer Space would be fantastic. I totally imagine Rob Zombie as the director. I would definitely watch that, Christian. I know that there's a huge cult following for Killer Clowns, and I've watched it, but it's not one of my favorites. I actually like the clowns, but watching the movie I just don't watch it very often because it's a little campy. I just don't think it's aged very well. Anyway, I would really like it reimagined. I would love to see a Pennywise versus Art the Clown movie. That would be interesting. The Terrified Pennywise, that'd be funny. They announced a Sleeping with the Enemy reboot. Really? Remake with Julia Roberts. Is that necessary? I don't think that's necessary, George. I think Once Bitten would be a good one to remake. I think Once Bitten is a great movie, and I think it would be funny to be remade. I would watch it. What's my thoughts on Saw series? Not a remake question. I actually like the Saw series. Some of them are. I really like the Saw series to about 4. And then some of them get just a little monotonous. It's just, okay, how many times are we going to see people tied up to these greasy machines that are going to twist them and kill them and whatever? It's like it kind of lost some of the storyline for me. But I really like the first 4 movies. Oh, hey there, Mark. Good to see you back. Let's see here. Let's see some other... What are your guys' thoughts on Let the Right One In and its remake, Let Me In? I love both movies. I love them both. Should they remake Jaws? No. What about the Candyman remake? I'm going to give it a watch. I always catch your live discussion late. It's okay, Bill. We're still going strong. We still have plenty to discuss. You know, a remake I've not seen yet, but I want to, is Suspiria. Hey, The Hills Have Eyes. The Hills Have Eyes is probably one of my very favorite remakes ever. The Faculty, remake or no? No. I don't think it needs to be remade. Event Horizon was great. I wouldn't mind another one of those, yeah. Let Me In was good. I prefer Let the Right One In. Most people do. Most people do. Let's see here. How about, you know, who else has seen the Suspiria remake? I've seen the original Suspiria, and I know there so many people love that movie. I'm not a big fan of it, but I just watched it like a year ago, and I just didn't care for it that much. I'm really wanting to see the remake. Let Me In has its differences that make it enjoyable, even though I personally prefer the original. People Under the Stairs. I love People Under the Stairs. I don't think it needs to be remade, but if it was, I would watch it. Suspiria was not a bad remake. I really want to see that. Yeah, Hannibal Rising is a prequel. I did like that movie. Loved Hills too. Did you guys go over The Omen? Yes, we did go over The Omen, and I don't mind the Omen remake. I really don't. Was it better than the original? No, it was not. Let's see here. You love both Suspirias? Awesome. Let's see here. What other ones have we not talked about? How about The Wolfman? With Benicio del Toro. Any fans of that movie? There's a lot of people give that movie a lot of hate, and I really liked it. I mean, I really liked it a lot. And, you know, The Wolfman from 1941 with Lon Chaney Jr. was the very first horror movie I ever saw, and it gave me nightmares for years. Of course, I was only 3, but, you know, I would look out into the dark window, and I would think I would see the Wolfman's face staring in at me, and I would be like, Mom, the Wolfman's gonna get me. But I really liked the remake. I thought they did really well with it. The newer Wolfman was cool, honestly. I thought it was too. The original Prom Night with Jamie Lee Curtis, you found to be okay. The remake, however, was terrible. Well, the remake was so totally different. It's like a totally different movie. So really, they should have just called it something else. When a Stranger Calls, original was much scarier than the remake. You find the original terrified you. The original was scarier, George. I agree with you. I liked the new version, but the original was scarier for me. Fan of the original Wolfman, haven't seen the remake. It's good. Puppet Masters are good. I would love to see some new Puppet Masters if they kept if they kept to the original style puppets. I wouldn't want them to update the puppets at all. Let's see here. What are some other... We talked about the Crazies, which I love. What about the My Bloody Valentine? Any fans of My Bloody Valentine? This is a remake I really like. Do I like the original? Yes. Is it dated now? It is a little dated, but but I like them both, but I think I prefer the new one better. Worst remake for you was Night of the Demons. I agree with you. I didn't like that movie, Brian. how cool would a combo of all the classic monsters be? One movie. I'd like that. What about Black Christmas? You prefer the remake over the original? I agree with you, Brandy. I agree with you. A Puppet Master reboot would be awesome if done right. Yes, it would have to be done right. Whoops, sent without finish. Wolfman, Frankie, Swamp Thing. I agree with you, Mark. I would love a movie with all the monsters in it. That would be really cool. I love the remake of My Bloody Valentine. I just watched it again on Valentine's Day this year. Yeah, I really like the remake of that. Ryan, you could go for a Sleepwalker remake. I would watch that. The Fog, the original versus the Fog remake. I have to go with the original, but I didn't mind the remake of that. We know Kate loves My Bloody Valentine remake. Yes, of course. How about House of Wax? Yeah, and I just said that, and Gary, you said Wax Museum. I liked that movie. I really liked. Let's see here, 2005. I will get to that right after this, Mark. I like House of Wax. Is it because we get to see Paris Hilton killed? Maybe. Did I love the original? Of course I did. But I thought it was fun. I thought it was very, very fun. Willard. Who doesn't like Willard? They have been playing the original Willard on my movie channels, for like 2 months now. But I really love the remake of Willard with Crispin Glover. I thought it was great. Let's see here. I remember that one when coming out when I was a kid. Very good. We don't hate Paris. I don't hate Paris, actually. And she was actually really good in Repo Genetic Opera. But she was really good getting killed in House of Wax, too. I actually don't hate her. Let's see here. What other? How about, let's see, the original with Vincent Price was classic. The remake was good too. I agree with you, Dawn. Talk about another Vincent Price original, House on Haunted Hill, and its remake from 1999, House on Haunted Hill. That remake, I love the original, but I absolutely love the remake of House on Haunted Hill. I think it was just done so well. And, was it different? Yes, it was totally different. But, I mean, I just think that they gave you more background and stuff. It was just creepier. Let's see here. The Haunting. And this one gets a ton of hate for some reason. But I love it. And it's also from 1999. And I love the house that they're in. I love how it comes to life. I love the rooms. Just everything. I just love. So The Haunting's great. And The Haunting of Hill House, the series, I also loved. You didn't know Mirrors was a remake? I didn't know Mirrors was a remake. You prefer the remake of House on Haunted Hill, except for some of the CGI effects, but overall, you liked it better. Some of the acting in the original was horribly dated too. Yes, I agree with you, Christian. Let's see here. What else? We went over some of these. How about The Fly? The Fly is probably one of the best remakes out there as well. I loved David Cronenberg's version. I mean, the original with Vincent Price was great. Great, but just so I mean, there's so many things that were just crazy in The Fly that totally creeped me out and grossed me out, and it, yeah. Mirrors had a sequel, not a remake. Okay. I also love the series The Haunting of Hill House. Yes, I loved it too. They're doing a remake of The Grudge. I thought The Grudge was already a remake. Here's some fun ones. Piranha, the original from the late 70s, and the 2010 remake. I love the Piranha remake. Piranha was one of those I loved as a kid. I loved all of the movies that were like animals eating people, like, you know, The Swarm and Dogs and Jaws and Piranha, and, you know, anything where there's animals eating people. I loved all of those ones. And so I've always loved Piranha, but I really love the remake of Piranha. In Supernaturals, they did a stint on House of Wax. Demigod took over Paris Hilton. Roland, she was kicking the Winchester's butt in Vengeance. That's funny. I missed that one. I'm not current on Supernatural right now. I am probably a good 3 seasons behind. I need to catch up now that I have Netflix. I just keep forgetting that I'm so far behind on Supernatural. They're remaking The Fly again? Really? Why? I mean, I guess 1986, I guess it's due for another, but I mean, Jeff Goldblum is The Fly to me. Help me. Yeah, absolutely. Supposedly it was more of an Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. Those were the Flying Piranhas back in the 80s. Yes, it was Flying Piranhas. They had all kinds of crazy movies back then. I love the Fly remake. The second movie was cool too. The second movie, I really like Eric Stoltz, and anything he's in, I'm always watching. So I, of course, saw that one too. I liked it, but I prefer the original one. Well, the first movie of the remakes, if that makes sense. Deep Blue Sea, they should have never made a sequel for it. I've actually not seen the sequel to that. They need to make a Cujo remade. That would be awesome. I would watch it, but I think Cujo is good as it is. But I would definitely watch a remake. But I like Cujo just as it is. I don't think they need to make a new one. What about, yeah, no, I just touched on that. Erica, I'm a fan, but Nev Campbell said no more Sydney for her. She's done. Well, if she's done, then she's done. I think it's fine as it is. It doesn't need any more. Ghostbusters original cast reunion and a movie. That would be great. It's too bad Harold Ramis died, so couldn't really get the entire cast back. That's the only problem with that. How about a remake of The Howling? I would be down with that, but I would just like another really great werewolf movie. Just instead of calling it The Howling, call it something else. Just make a really great werewolf movie, and that way it isn't trying to. That way it doesn't get the hate from the people that hate remakes. It isn't trying to ride the coattails of some famous movie that has so much love. They could just make a really great werewolf movie, and it could be very similar, just, different. Lost Boys remake could be super cool. Sort of shot like Stranger Things or It, but maybe a bit more dark. Again, with that, I would say just make another really great vampire movie. Make it darker, make it similar, but make it darker. Just don't call it Lost Boys. Call it something else. They are making a new Pet Sematary. Yes, they are, and I'm excited about it. The Flying Piranha movie was Piranha 2, I guess. It was actually directed by James Cameron back when he wasn't king of the world. Anything new on sequel of Trick or Treat? I have not heard anything new about that, Gary, and makes me sad. He kept putting it off. Oh, well, I've got this project, I've got that project. When this is done, when that's done, well, here it is. Way later, we need a sequel to that. Of course, it wouldn't have to have any of the same characters except Sam. So really, the time between it makes no difference. But yeah, I would like to see another of that. Train to Busan remake in America with just with an American city instead of Busan. The original on South Korean language was world class. I would watch that. That would be great. Ginger Snaps. I like Ginger Snaps. I don't really think it needs to be remade. I wish some of these people would just take some of their ideas and just make movies and not call them remakes, or not try to hold on to these other movies. Cape Fear original with Robert Mitchum or remake with Robert De Niro. Ooh, remake for me on that. One of my favorite films of all time is also Flatliners. It was a great movie and an awesome afterlife supernatural concept with a great cast. The remake from a couple of years ago, though, was not so great. I agree with you, Wayne. It was watchable, but it was not as good. An American Werewolf in London is being remade. That makes me sad. What about Ginger Snaps? I love Ginger Snaps. I just... and if they remade it, I'd watch it. But I don't know if it necessarily needs a remake. Prince of Darkness would be great. That would be great, Rob. I would definitely watch that. Salem's Lot remake. I love the Salem's Lot remake, Brian. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite films. What about Splinter? I think that could be improved upon. More and better effects, better scenes with the Splinter creature, darker vibes as well. I have not seen Splinter, Paul. I need to see that. Would you rather see a new Shining with Jack Nicholson or a new Nightmare with Robert Englund? That's a tough one. I'm going with a new Nightmare with Robert Englund because I don't think Jack would be as menacing these days. Yes, Sylvia. That they were going to do a Crow remake with Jason, and then I heard he pulled out of the project. So I don't know if they're still going forward and just going to recast or what. Let's see here. Sometimes they come back. Did they do a remake for Sometimes They Come Back? I've not seen it. They should have Creature Commandos, a DC characters consistent of Medusa, Frankenstein's creation, the werewolf, a soldier, and a retro robot setting backdrop World War II. I would like that. That sounds like a good concept, Gary. You should write a screenplay. Blade is being rebooted with Marshall Alley from Green Book as Blade. I heard, you know what, George? I heard actually that was a rumor, and that Wesley's actually doing it. But I don't know which source is more reliable. Make Freddy vs. Jason 2. Dagon was brilliant, but not sure if I'd like it remade. Dagon. What's Dagon? I don't think I've seen Dagon. I need to see that. Let's see here. What other ones? Sorority Row. Any fans of Sorority Row? I watched the original the other day, and I liked it. I have not actually seen the remake. Let's see here. Any others that I forgot? How about The Hitcher? Who likes the remake of The Hitcher? I love the original Hitcher, but I actually love the remake of The Hitcher. They're like, right? I mean, it's very hard for me to go like which one is better for me, because I love them both. Let's see here. Oh, another big one. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I absolutely love Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It was so creepy and crazy and like scary when I was younger, but it is dated. I would actually think that would be a really good one to be remade again. Would be Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I thought the recent sorority film was dull. You know, I've not, like I said, Christian, I've not seen the remake of it, but I want to. The original Hitcher is so good. Yes, I agree. Wicker Man remake with Nicolas Cage was extremely laughable. Never seen the original before, but the remake had me dying because of how bad it was. But a guilty pleasure at the same time. Yeah, Wayne, I watch the Wicker Man quite often, the remake. I've not seen the original one in many, many years, so I have to revisit that to compare the two, because I don't have a good enough recollection of it to say which one's better. But I do love the Hitcher remake. Millennials of the Corn. The Blob remake is one of the best. I agree with you. I like them all. Remakes don't bother me and don't take away from the original, in your opinion. I agree with you, Scott. I absolutely agree with you. I don't think that remakes take away anything from the original source material. If you don't like them, simply don't ever watch them again. You can't unmake something that's already been made. Sure, there are sequels and things that say, okay, ignore certain other sequels to make this relevant or to where this places in this universe. But, you know, you aren't ruining a film. You aren't ruining one film by making another, in my opinion. We need a completely new serial killer to idolize. I'm down with that. Night of the Creeps could be still campy, fun, dark comedy maybe. I've not seen Night of the Creeps in a very long time. A new Austin Powers. Final Destination is being remade. What do I think about that? I don't see any reason for it to be remade. Why don't they just keep making Final Destinations? Demons. I've not seen Demons. The Order. Well, we're Werewolves versus Witches University. I've not seen that yet. I was going to put it on the other night, and my husband vetoed it. He's not the biggest horror fan, and he's so good so much of the time with all of the stuff that I put on. I mean, he's constantly being bombarded with, you know, some sort of demons or witches or killers or slashers or something, vampires. He's constantly being bombarded with these things. So really, he's so good that when he says no, I'm not having it, then I say no problem. And it looks like my DirecTV signal is lost. I wonder if somebody's doing something out. It smells like there's a hot mop outside, like hot tar. So, I wonder. Not another Final Destination. Do we have a new we do have a new serial killer. Just one sec. Yeah! Just 1 second. What?
Millions of butterflies.
You know, I was seeing that. What? You know, I was seeing that. There's like a ton of... Well, I was seeing that from inside the house, and I don't know where they're coming from.
Somehow that way. That way.
There's a bunch of butterflies.
It's not an everyday thing.
No, it's not an everyday thing.
That's why it's calling you.
See them? Like, seriously, a ton of them. They just keep coming and coming and coming. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
What the heck?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Are they butterflies or moths? They're butterflies.
I think, I don't know. But there's like a million of them. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Anyway. No, you did. You totally did. I'm live in my group right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, hon.
That's okay.
Don't tell your group. You saw a bunch of scary butterflies.
I did. All right. All right. Yes, that was a short field trip, and yeah. No, they're still coming. There's just waves and waves and waves of these butterflies. Anyway, Where were we? Where were we? Woke up my little kitten. Woke up my kitten. Say hi, Otis. Hi, Otis. Hi. He's sleepy still. All right. Butterfly mock horror film. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Okay, so I was saying Invasion of the Body Snatchers would be great. But yeah, I wonder why. Oh. Maybe it's just that channel. Anyway, I got my signal back. I don't know why Underworld isn't gonna play, but it's not, which sucks. Anyway, put it on 28 days later. So yeah, I really think that it would be great. Oh, and it's not gonna play 28 days later. That's not good. I really think it would be great to have a new Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You should, let's see here. Let's see here. Attack of the Butterflies. World War Z is getting a sequel according to Wicked Horror. Oh, that's cool. We need a remake on Alien Killer Butterflies from Outer Space. Oh, wait, sorry. That needs to exist first. Mothman. Yeah. You know, I like Mothman prophecies. Those butterflies must have been sent by Mr. Hannibal Lecter himself, Silence the Butterfly. You know? Right? Maybe Buffalo Bill's living around the corner from me. They're seriously still coming. There's seriously still tons of butterflies outside. Mimic. You know, I liked Mimic. I watched Mimic the other day, and I really liked Mimic. Let's see here. Let me try another channel. Wayne's comment made me realize, what about a Silence of the Lambs remake? Ooh. They need to leave that one alone. They need to leave that one alone. I absolutely would not be into having a Silence of the Lambs remake at all. It's just, it's too wonderful of a movie to ever touch. It just, yeah. No way. Let's see here. Wow. I have no idea why maybe it's all the butterflies. Maybe the butterflies are messing with my dish. That's okay. I'll just turn on Netflix. All right, now you guys said the order's good. I'm gonna try that out. Salem's Lot. I love Salem's Lot. Like I said, I love Salem's Lot. I love Salem's Lot. I love the yeah, I'm gonna. There we go. I love Salem's Lot. I love its remakes. So, The Keep would be a good remake if done right. Yes. Well, you know, in so many of the times, that's exactly the way. Like, you know, I wish people would do a really good remake, but it needs to be really good. It needs to not be. I'm missing my volume. Pause it. Since I found it. Yeah, so they need to be well done. They can't just be phoning it in and being like, well, we're going to ride on the coattails of this formerly really, really well done movie, and then hopefully we'll get people to watch us and really be into it. So, I mean, that's the problem with some of these remakes, is just, you know, we don't like them because they're phoned in. Now, how many remakes did I say I loved? I love so many remakes. There's really, it's hard to find movies for me that I don't like, that I genuinely don't like. They Live definitely needs a remake. I would watch a They Live remake. I think that would be a good one. Brain Scan with Edward Furlong remake. What do you think? Yeah, I would watch that. I know it's not exactly horror, but yeah, I heard they intend on making a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot, not a TV series, and I feel like your heart is failing. They don't need to do that. In my opinion, they don't need to touch Buffy. There was a movie and then a TV show made from that movie, you know, same premise. And I just don't really feel like they need to be, I don't feel like they need to touch it at all. Hey, Dino. Let's see here. 7 remake would be nice. I think 7's perfect the way it is. I would love to see more movies like 7. Give me another crazy serial killer that's just out there and just scary, but not like intimidating scary, like, oh my God, this guy could be anywhere and could be hunting us because he's like after people that aren't, you know, don't have whatever moral standing that he had. Like, that's scary to me. Like, that's really scary to me. And I would love more of those. Pilot episode of Tremors with Kevin Bacon. I'm glad they shut it down. I didn't see it. But I did hear it got shut down. Society, I think they could do it again with better real effects. Mix of CGI. That film was bizarrely good. Torso remake. Let's see here. Did I miss any? I'm sure I missed some of you guys' comments. I'm so sorry. I enjoyed the Maniac remake with Elijah Wood. Haven't seen the 80s original in forever. Wayne, I agree with you. That was a great remake. I have not seen the 80s version in forever either. And Elijah was creepy. I mean, creepy. And I know we're missing some remakes here. But I think we actually covered most all of the major ones. And, there's definitely ones that should have never been made and are just, they're kind of like, oh, put your head in your hands kind of thing when you see them. But so many of them, I think, were really well done. They really tried, and you know, why not? Killer Clowns remake. I know there's supposed to be Killer Clowns TV series. I would like a remake for that. The Collector is somewhat of a serial killer with a sequel to it. Yes, Gary, you're right. And it's scary, and he really, you don't really know why he's coming after those people. Like, I mean, I'm sure he has his reasons, but I mean, I love movies like that. Like, I mean, I really love movies like that. And the butterflies are still coming. I don't know where the heck those things came from. That's crazy. Been fun. Good night, Erica. This is an awesome group. Thank you so much, Dawn. Great having you here. I am about to wrap it up too. We have almost gone our very longest show ever. We're about 10 minutes shy of 2 hours. So thank you all so much for joining in, giving your opinions, commenting, liking, everything. Thank you so much. And next week we are going to be talking about women in horror. So our beloved Scream Queens. I know we've done that topic before. Excuse me. Sorry. I know we have done that. I know we've done that topic before, but we can do it again. And after next week, think up some good topics, because I will be asking for what we thank you, Dino. What we want to do next. Alrighty? Thank you all. Mwah. Bless you. Thank you.